Close your eyes and take a deep breath, holding a simple, warm cup of coffee in your hands. Feel the steam rising gently into the cool morning air. You feel safe holding this ordinary, innocent object that warms your soul. But history whispers a terrifying secret. This cup once held poison. It was used to silence enemies in dark, bloody wars across centuries. We must see the world clearly,
Thưa
not
các
just
vị,
the
kế
comforting
hoạch đã hoàn tất.
surface. The journey
Vâng,
begins
nhưng ta
now,
cần thêm thời gian.
revealing the hidden truth
Không,
behind the
hành động
rising
ngay.
steam.
Quân thù đang tiến
If you
đến.
thought this history
Đồng
was
ý.
dark,
Sẽ ra lệnh xuất
wait
quân lúc bình
until
minh.
you hear what Alt did to the world. You feel the cold fear of a life without clear sight. Millions lived in a world of constant struggle and pain. Poor vision turned every step into a terrifying gamble. Daily life was a heavy burden of difficulty and fear. The pain of dropping a cup or tripping over a root. Take a close look at the hands trying to cook a meal blindly. The sound of breaking plates echoes through centuries of silent suffering. Then, a tiny invention arrives to change the human story forever. This small tool ended an era of blindness and confusion. It was not a grand weapon or a shiny golden crown. It was a simple lens made from glass and careful grinding. Before this moment, seeing clearly was a luxury for the few. For the vast majority, the world was just a shifting nightmare. Darkness ruled their homes and their minds for thousands of years. They could not read, travel safely, or work with precision. Every task became a dangerous test of luck and patience. Historians believe this single discovery unlocked a new age for humanity. We move forward in time to see how this changed everything. The next story begins with a different object that brought warmth. If you think this struggle was hard, wait until you hear about the next item. Settle into the shadows of the past. Welcome to Storyline English, where history becomes your lesson. If you are new here, subscribe to join our time travel. And now, my friend, let us begin. Invite your mind to breathe deeply and relax your busy thoughts. We step into a world where light is dim and sound is heavy. Welcome new viewers to a place where stories help you learn while history teaches. Here, every journey reveals something new about the English language itself. Please subscribe if you have not done so already to join our circle. And now, let us begin this ancient tale. Long ago, before modern glasses existed, life was very difficult for people who could not see well. The sharp pain of blurred vision cuts through your daily tasks. You stumble over roots in the garden or drop tools from your hands. The world looks like a watercolor painting smeared by a wet finger. Distance is a mystery because edges blur into a gray fog. You cannot read the letters on a sign or spot the friend in the crowd. Fear grows in the silence of a dark room without clear sight. Take a close look at the struggle of a life defined by uncertainty. Then, soon, a small invention changes everything for humanity forever. This object will open doors that were once locked tight against us. It is not just glass but a key to the wider world. We watch as empires rise and fall based on who can see first, waking to a world without clear shapes. Colors exist, yet forms remain a confusing blur. Notice how text dissolves into soft shadows while strangers become faceless. Silhouettes walking past your window. This was the quiet reality for millions of people around the globe for most of human history. There was no help available and no solution to offer anyone suffering in the dark. If your eyes were weak, you simply lived with it every single day without complaint. You moved closer to things to try and understand what they were hiding in the Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine the smell of fresh bread coming out of a warm oven. It is a smell that feels like home, isn't it? It is warm, sweet, and comforting. Every culture on earth has its own version of bread. You asked others for help when you could not see clearly yourself or read the signs. You guessed at the world around you and you hoped for a better tomorrow despite. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine the smell of fresh bread coming out of a warm oven. It is a smell that feels like home, isn't it? It is warm, sweet, and comforting. Every culture on earth has its own version of bread. This was life for millions of people for thousands of years before modern medicine arrived. The struggle was especially hard for scholars and monks who needed clarity too. Read ancient scrolls. They could not solve the secrets of the ancient world without sharp vision too. Interpret the symbols. The silence of their blindness weighed heavily on their spirits for centuries of isolated study. We must understand this deep pain to appreciate the true miracle of sight returning to us. The darkness of uncorrected blindness shaped the entire course of human development in unexpected ways. We feel the quiet pull of human curiosity driving us to search for a better life. This ancient hunger pushes people to improve their daily existence in every single way. They looked at the world with hungry eyes and never stopped asking questions. Slowly, a small secret hidden in plain sight finally emerges from the darkness. It was always there, yet ignored by everyone for centuries. History shows us how we missed the most important thing right before our faces. Looking through curved glass or simple water drops changes everything we thought we knew. Light bends and breaks to reveal a hidden world we never saw before. Smooth polished stones act as windows into a different reality entirely. You can see tiny figures moving in a circle when you look through them. The image becomes big enough to read words or see distant landscapes clearly. This simple trick opens doors to new inventions and powerful new tools. Soon, these small objects become keys to unlocking the secrets of the universe. The journey from simple stone to powerful lens began with just one moment. We must remember that great discoveries often start as small and quiet things. Fast forward to the future where these lenses build telescopes. For us, the path to modern science was paved by these humble and forgotten moments. Listen closely to how one small change reshapes the entire course of human progress. We stand in a quiet library in 965, listening to a scientist named Ibn al-Haytham explain how light travels through space and enters our eyes. Awe mixes with curiosity as we realize a simple object changed human history forever. He was born around the year 965 in a city in what is now modern Iraq. He studied light with great care and patience every single day. He studied the human eye inside the dark and silent rooms. He wrote a famous and important book called the Book of Optics. In this book, he explained how light moves through space and how our eyes receive it. His ideas were remarkable and changed the way people saw the world. His ideas traveled far across the world to distant lands and unknown shores, and they were read and studied by scholars in Europe for hundreds and hundreds of years after his death. Later, in the 1200s, in the quiet monasteries of Europe, monks who spent long and careful hours reading holy books began to experiment with pieces of glass. They were looking for a way to read more easily, to see more clearly without strain. One day, someone placed a smooth and rounded piece of glass directly on top of a page of writing, and something wonderful happened right before our very eyes. The letters looked bigger, clearer, easier to read for the first time in centuries. These simple tools were called reading stones, and they changed everything. They were not glasses yet, and they had no frames or arms or bridge for the nose. But they were the very first hint that glass and light, working together, could help the tired and aging human eye. And that hint, that small and gentle discovery, was enough to start something truly extraordinary for all humanity. Around the year 1285, somewhere in the warm and beautiful cities of northern Italy, possibly in Pisa, possibly in Venice, something new appeared in the world. Someone whose name we do not fully know yet created a new shape from these old stones. We stand in a quiet monastery in the year 965, listening to monks whisper secrets that will change how humanity sees the world forever. Awe mixed with the tension of a secret spreading through history drives us forward into this story of vision itself. First among monks and scholars in their quiet monasteries, the idea of clear sight began to take root in peaceful corners. Then among merchants and traders who needed to read letters and count numbers. The concept moved quickly through busy streets. Then among writers and thinkers who sought to understand the vastness of the universe beyond their small villages. Then among kings and wealthy rulers who could afford fine things and demanded perfection from their court. Everyone who struggled to read or see clearly wanted a pair of these new glass tools to help them. The discovery moved like a quiet fire, passing slowly from city to city, from country to country, from one pair of curious hands to the next. Glassmakers in the city of Venice, Italy, became very important as this slow fire reached their shores. Venice was already famous around the world for its beautiful and delicate glass, used for windows and cups. Now, its glassmakers had a new and deeply meaningful job that changed their entire way of living. They made glass lenses carefully and slowly, one at a time, by hand with steady fingers and focused minds. Each pair of glasses was unique because no two lenses were ever exactly the same, in shape or size, and because they were made by hand with such care and skill. They were expensive beyond the reach of common folk. Only wealthy people could afford them at first, while the rich enjoyed sharper sight over their fine meals. Poor people with weak eyes still had to struggle, just as they always had, in the shadow of this new technology. But the idea was alive and growing despite the barriers of money and social status in that time. And people were beginning to understand something very important about the nature of light and human perception. They noticed that the shape of the glass mattered greatly for how we see the world around us. A thicker and rounder lens helped people who could not see things up close with any clarity or detail. A thinner and flatter lens helped people who could not see things far away with any sense of depth. This was a beautiful and significant discovery that would eventually help everyone see the world more clearly. We travel with these early visionaries as they reshape the very limits of human experience forever. The path from simple curiosity to global understanding is now clear for you to follow in your own mind. And so, my friend, we reach the end of today's story about glasses. Human curiosity, patience, and creativity changed the world one small, careful step at a time. Today, more than 4 billion people wear glasses or contacts. That is more than half of all humanity. They live more clearly, beginning with a quiet question about lightened glass nearly 1,000 years ago. This story teaches us something important. Big changes do not always begin with grand moments. They start with small, quiet observations. A monk places rounded glass on a page and notices something wonderful. A glassmaker in Venice tries a new shape to help tired eyes. Benjamin Franklin cuts a lens to find an elegant solution. Each small step by ordinary people solving ordinary problems added something real to the world. Together, across centuries, those steps created something extraordinary. Perhaps this story also speaks to your own journey with English. You are here right now. You are listening. You are learning. Every story you hear, every new word you master, every sentence that becomes clearer in your mind is part of your discovery. You do not need to learn everything instantly. Just as a monk's all light through dust, you see meaning through every practiced word. The path to fluency is not a straight line but a collection of tiny, quiet victories. Each lesson builds upon the last, creating a clearer view of history and culture. If you thought this history was dark, remember that clarity often comes from simple tools. Keep your eyes open and your ears wide. The story of discovery is never truly finished. There is always another word to learn, another history to uncover. Let the past guide your future steps forward. You are part of a long line of seekers who made the world clearer for everyone. Listen to the next chapter. The journey continues, and you are ready for it. If this tale brought you peace or sparked curiosity, please leave a comment below. Your words matter deeply here. Share your unique perspective in the glowing box where other voices wait to meet yours. I would love to hear your honest thoughts on what just happened. Now tell me, where you are listening from today. Look at the spinning globe and see your country appear on its surface. We are connected across oceans and time right now. Every comment builds a bridge between strangers who love learning together. And if you want to continue this journey with me, please subscribe to Storyline English. A new story is always waiting for you here, ready to unfold. Do not miss the next chapter of human history. Until next time, keep listening to the whispers of the past. Keep learning new words while you explore the world. And always keep moving forward through time. Remember that knowledge grows when we share it freely. Your voice adds light to the dark corners of history. Thank you for being part of this global community today. We grow stronger together as we seek truth side by side. This is not just a channel but a shared adventure for us all. Please join us again soon for more stories that matter. The path ahead is long and full of interesting discoveries. Stay with us as we walk through centuries together. Your support keeps these historical voices alive for everyone.